Everything you learned in history class was a lie. Well, maybe not everything, but they skipped the best parts. Introducing Stupiracy, where stupidity meets conspiracy. Ever heard of the Olympic marathon that nearly killed its runners? Or the time a pope put another pope's corpse on trial? Join me, Scott Rizzuto, and Tim McKernan as we uncover the most outrageous historical moments and mind-blowing conspiracies you won't believe actually happened. Tune into Stupiracy for your weekly dose of historical absurdity. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, history is dumb, but laughing at it is smart.
Trying to hear the song.
I see that. It's heavy. It's on the heavy side.
So where are these noble lads next week? Arizona?
At Arizona, which Kyler Murray was fantastic. The little quarterback from Oklahoma. Where was he?
Yeah, he was Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
And
yeah.
then,
Heisman
then he
Trophy
went to
winner.
play baseball. Then he wasn't going to play baseball.
The A's gave him $4 million, and he gave it back and went and played football.
Oh, wow.
He was a number one draft choice as I think infielder for the A's, and then. Yeah, he was terrific yesterday, and that doesn't bode well for the guys. You know what I was thinking, though? That would have been a game where I would have got a phone call at 12:10
Love those
a.m.
games. Love those games.
12:10 p.m. from Augie going, yoo-hoo-hoo, after they had 3 penalties in like 4 minutes to start the game. I would have got a boy, that was a yoo-hoo-hoo start if there ever was one, wasn't it? What
Is
the hell?
Cincinnati going anywhere with Joe
No,
Burrow?
they're supposed to be terrible.
Well, they'll be better
He'll
than
be
they were
okay.
last year, especially if Burrow plays the whole year.
Yeah,
but
he was hurt
that's a
last year.
bad loss, man.
Oh, that is. Yeah, especially when you had to work that hard to get it. And, of course, I had the privilege of being in the car when the game ended.
Oh, you
And
love these.
I heard the post-game show
was
on KFAN, the flagship station, and we got robbed.
Come on.
We got
Highway
robbed.
robbery. Highway robbery.
You got robbed after Cincinnati tried their hardest to lose. They went for it on fourth
Dalvin
down.
Cook had been down for like 20 seconds before that fumble came out, and we got robbed on that
Would you
fumble.
guys have been surprised if the Vikings found a way to come back and win and Cincinnati fires that idiot head coach for going for it on 4th and 1?
That was unbelievable.
That was one of the
completely
dumbest
turned-
plays I've ever seen.
Completely turned the game around.
You know, PJ did that against Ohio State. He was behind and knew that if he punted there, the game would be over, right?
Correct.
You're ahead by 2 touchdowns, and the other team hasn't done anything since the first time they touched the ball.
Right.
And you go for it?
Oh, man, that was
That
stupid.
was just unbelievable. He's got some analytical guy that tells him 76% of the time, if you go for it on 4th and 1, you're going to make it. Well, except if it's your own 29 and they all know that you're going to run it. They know you're not going to do anything frisky from your own 29. So they got 11 guys up there to tackle your guy. You know, unbelievable. That was
Can I give you the text interchange between one Bob Mikulski and his son Matthew?
Is Bob now? Bob's dad, is he a big Viking fan or not?
My dad
Bob is the dad.
my dad, Greg.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a huge Viking fan. He's a yeller.
Okay.
He will be talking to the TV alone in his apartment, but he will, as if they can hear him.
Does
on
the
other side.
complex know when Bob's watching the Vikes game?
Pretty sure.
Where does Bob's passion for the Vikings go back? Go back to the Bud
Day
years,
one.
does
Day
it?
one. Yep, day one. Yeah.
Okay.
He. I don't know that he was a big Packer fan in Winona. They probably were just by default until '61, but lifetime a Viking fan.
Okay.
115. Woe is me is what I received. I replied, pretty boring game on both sides, for sure. Viking have not had a polished team since Denny Green.
Really?
Okay? I said, okay, I agree. 21 should be waived. And I just
That's
said,
who? Dalvin?
Breland,
Breland.
who was getting destroyed yesterday.
Toasted, yeah.
he was. And I said, he just got waived. Bye-bye. Good one, Matt. And I tried to
He
be...
thinks, see, this is the problem. His old man thinks he's funny. Okay.
So what's
His
coming?
old
Hang
man
on.
doesn't say, know your limits.
Did you sit in the house all day and watch that game?
Yes, I did. I did.
way too nice.
It was nice out, but it was okay. I tried to be an optimist. Big things coming in the second. I want to settle them down a bit. Zimmer, with his little pot belly, will give them an earful. He said he never has his team prepared. 2 great receivers, and they throw 3-yard passes. So then, when they finally score the touchdown, I say, that felt good. He says, like the morning BM.
Well, he's the proper age to enjoy those.
Yes, and then we went
How
on.
old's Bob?
Bob is 80. He'll be 85 next month.
Well, that's I can tell you how good it feels at 75. I can't imagine at 84.
I can't believe we're discussing this.
Just, that touchdown
At
felt like the
80.
morning Constitution. You pick your spots, I guess.
Was that the end?
Well, it's the end. It's not very entertaining after that. He
got very upset. Did he think Galvin fumbled, or did he want
He
that?
did not comment. He said tie game. I said tie game. He said God help us. I said I think we might need to make a deal with the devil. He said I hope he's wearing Prada. Better to light one candle than to curse the darkness. And that
You know who I bet's a happy guy today? Matthew Stafford.
Oh, yeah. He gets out of Detroit.
He wins big in L.A.
Goes,
over
has,
the Bears.
has a big game. Yeah. Meanwhile, what the little known fact is the Vikings actually lead the division.
How is that possible?
They're first of all, they're the only one that's unbeaten in the conference. They got that tiebreaker.
Sure.
Because everybody else is 0-1 and they're 0-0. And they lead in point differential. They're -3. Everybody else got beat worse than them. So I don't think it's all
I saw the
gloomy.
Score North.
That's the most optimistic spin I've ever heard.
You're going to get that on the score. I saw that Score North tweet out.
Yes, yeah, that is true. But I don't know. There's just the people who are passionately love these guys. I stick by my statement. They just have never met them. Right. That's the problem. Right. They're not. We don't have enough dealings with these players now to know what kind of guys
I was
they are.
passionate about the Vikings as a youth.
Until you met them.
Until I met them.
Until they taped you to the goalpost.
Threw stuff at me.
Yes, right. God. And that was fun-loving compared to the 80s when, the funny thing is, Bernsey, love Bernsey. Mm-hmm. He had the worst locker room for the media in the history of mankind.
Why?
Well, they hated you guys.
They hated us. Henry Thomas and
okay.
You and Stud had a bit of a problem.
Stud didn't like me. He used to. I didn't mind Stud not liking me, but Stud, when you'd be talking to somebody, Stud would tell him to stop talking to you, which was
a little inconvenient.
Hard to get the job done.
One of the highlights of my journalism career, though, was John Randall having Barrero and those printout type mugshots that they had taped to his locker so he could tell which one was which and which one he was mad at. And I used the Herbeck line. I said, John, I went over and I said, John, it's not the problem. I said, Barrero's the one that looks like he's got AIDS. Yep. And I'm the one that looks like a guy who ate somebody who had AIDS.
That was Herbeck's line.
That was Herbeck's line.
See, John, it's real easy.
Yeah, right. I'm bigger. He's a skinny guy. I'm not a skinny guy.
Does this game tonight in Vegas hold any interest for you?
Who we got?
Who are the Raiders playing?
I'm going to tell you. I got it right here. The only interest I have is, are they going to go full Las Vegas Nights on you? Is it going to be crazy theatrics?
Because last year they didn't have many people, right? They didn't.
It's Baltimore at Vegas.
That'll be a good game.
Poor Baltimore. Everybody's hurt for that team. They got all kinds of bad.
But I wonder
injuries.
if they're going to bring in the entertainment sector of that city, like the Golden Knights.
Did you watch any of last night's game or the Bears game and see Kroenke's $5 billion stadium?
Yeah.
The scoreboard is worth more money than
the Metrodome.
The Metrodome. Way more.
Yeah.
Than the Metrodome. Way more than the Metrodome.
Wow.
They were showing it to me, and I couldn't actually tell what it was. You can see what they're showing anywhere you're sitting in the stadium, below it, above it, because they got screens underneath it that you're looking up into the.
And is it
middle
true
of the thing.
that the Chargers are merely a tenant there?
Tenant.
They have to pay to use it?
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure
That's
he
the
gets
dumbest thing I've ever heard.
And I don't know if the Chargers can have their own advertising
Man.
or
I think it's shared.
shared advertising. They get
think,
a cut of
or
it.
it's part of their lease agreement, I believe. But Joe, you know the name of the stadium, don't you?
No, I don't.
It's called SoFi Stadium. You know where SoFi gets their money, don't you?
I don't.
Student loans.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Really?
Well, if we
SoFi.
Is it a bank?
what's going to
yeah.
happen? What's going to happen if we waive those? If we don't have to pay them back anymore?
Well, you
they're
and
all
I get to pay
nervous
for
right
it.
now.
Yeah, it'll be great.
SoFi? Okay.
In the meantime, our poor twins are out in Yankee Stadium.
Yes, right now.
That's
Making
right. They're
up a
playing
game.
right now.
Yep.
So we had quite the patriotic orgy on Saturday night before the Mets played the Yankees. The whole 9/11, 20 years, we brought back, and you know, very good. It was fine. But then they went out and played like 4 hours. Then yesterday they kind of did it again. Another night game there last night. 4:06 they took to play 9 innings last night.
406.
4:06 to play 9
At
innings.
Yankee Stadium?
At Yankee Stadium. At Citi Field, at the Mets ballpark. Yeah,
That's
at the
too
Mets
long, Pat.
ballpark.
That's too
Yes,
long.
it is.
Well,
Yes,
it's too long for today's audience. It's not too long for a baseball purist.
Oh, I think it's too long. For
Oh, I got news
think
for
so?
you.
Purist,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they. I turned it on, watched a little bit of the early innings, turned it back on 2 hours later.
Watched a whole movie.
Watched something else. Can't even remember. I think I watched.
The Godfather
I
series.
think I watched football. I watched football for a while. I watched something. Turned it 2 hours later. It was the bottom of the fifth.
That's
2 hours
unbelievable.
later, and I'd already watched like an inning.
And it's not, I mean, if it's a decent, well played, decent paced 4 hour game, okay, that's fine. But it's the amount of time it takes each individual inning.
I got one for you, Joe. Mets and Dodgers last week. This would be 2 weeks ago. They played in San Francisco. Those plucky Giants somehow won 2 out of 3. Still have the best record in baseball. 2 best records in baseball. They played a 3-game series. We have the limit now where you have to face at least three hitters when you're a pitcher, unless you end an inning, and then 3 games, 2 best teams in baseball, 44 pitchers were used. Wow. 44 pitchers were used.
Did the Giants have 2
Giants-
bullpen games?
Well,
or?
they had at least one where they had 9 guys. I think the Dodgers.
Wow.
The Dodgers had 11 in one game. They used 11 in one game. So
Did I see that? Is Bauer done for the year for the
yeah,
Dodgers?
they told them we'll try it again next year once you straighten out your.
Legal situation.
You see the Toronto-Baltimore score?
Yes.
22-7.
Here's the stat on that. Saturday they're playing a doubleheader because they got rained out Friday. The Orioles beat them on Thursday night after they swept the Yankees. They beat the Yankees 3 straight in Yankee Stadium.
Who did? Toronto?
Toronto.
Yeah.
Beat them 3 straight in Yankee Stadium. Beat them bad. No, wait, 4 straight, right? Reavers, 4 straight.
I can't remember. I don't know.
Yeah, they beat them 4 straight. It was the first series. It was the first time the Yankees had been swept in a 4-game series at home when they never led in the series since 1908. Wow. So then they lose to the Orioles.
Yep.
Then Saturday they beat them. They lose the Orioles 6-3. Saturday they're playing a doubleheader. They beat them 11-7 or something, right? The first game Saturday, 11-7, 11-6. The second game Saturday, they are being no hit through 6 innings. It's a 7-inning game. They're being no hit through 6 innings. They get 11 runs in the top of the 7th. 11 runs, 11 hits, 4 home runs. And then they follow that up with 22. So,
Wow.
so in 10 innings, the Orioles gave up 33 runs. That's
Holy cow. By the way, your Fighting Twins are up 4-0 in the bottom of the
there
second.
goes my 100,000.
Yeah, you were saying you'd bet $100 grand on the Yankees.
100,000.
It ain't over. It ain't
Polanco
over.
and Sano with 2-run
Hey,
homers.
is Luis Gil start for the Yankees? Did Luis Gil
Let me
start
check
for the
the
Yankees?
old
The kid they got in the
box
trade.
score. Luis
The kid they
Gil.
got from us. and the-
I have, who do I have here?
Vince.
No, I don't. Just give me a second. This box score is being a little slow
Okay.
here.
All right. Tell
Baseball's
me.
not drawing well, just based on my quick
Not-
glance.
not-
at this.
Yes, Gil has started 2
Yeah,
innings.
he's the Twins. He's the kid they got for Garcia.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
sure.
And was pitching pretty good for them. So, yeah, they're not. I mean, some places they are. Dodger Stadium is putting in 45, and the Giants are drawing very well.
I
for a
think the
miracle
Giants,
team.
didn't the Giants host the Cubs yesterday?
No, the Giants just won 3 straight in Wrigley.
Oh, okay.
Giants were in Wrigley, won 3 straight.
Well, there were
they're like-
32,000.
They're like 40 games over 500. It's unbelievable.
32,000 in San Fran?
No, in Chicago, Wrigley.
Oh.
They're
Which is-
93 and 50.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. They're over and under for wins.
Oh, it could have been
was,
higher than 75.
76.
Okay.
I think 76 and a half. 70. They
Well,
were.
what happened?
Everybody they had decided this is the year I'm going to have my best year that I've ever had, including Lamont Wade Jr., who the Twins let go so they could keep Jake Cave, and he's got 16 or 17 home runs.
I forgot to look. What did they have for Town Ball night at Target Field? Do they have a good crowd? I forgot to check.
They had 20-some thousand on Friday. Was that it?
I was seeing
That's
a lot
pretty
of.
good.
I was seeing a lot of pictures because they told you to wear your jersey and whatnot. I don't know if you got a discount on your ticket.
Oh,
or
so it
whatever.
wasn't Town Ball playing. They were watching the Twins game.
Twins game yesterday was a tidy 3:31, 3
yeah.
hours and
It was
31
going on
minutes.
forever. It's going on forever. But back to the Vikings. We
Here we
got to
go.
break that down.
Let's go.
Yes, we
Bust
do.
it.
We got to break that
I want
down.
you to explain the Rogers situation to me, too. Has he ever been taken out of a game?
I think.
I'm
a
sure
starter?
at some point, whether they were up big.
Did they pull him last year?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When
Oh,
did
yeah.
they pull him?
I don't remember.
I didn't pay much.
Let me try to find out.
We had fall baseball yesterday afternoon
He
after the Viking
looked.
game, so I didn't.
He looked rather indifferent.
I asked noted Packer fan Johnny Height, who was in here earlier. You think he's doing this on purpose?
Yeah, sabotage. Well, he's playing the Saints. Maybe the Saints just cheated.
That could be. But how about Sean Payton takes Jameis Winston and makes him look like Tom Brady in his prime?
You know, when I'm right about something,
I knew you were going
I
to go
don't
there.
brag about
No,
it.
you do not. You're a very humble
But
man.
I've been telling Judd for 3 weeks, I still love Jameis Winston. He throws the best ball there is. And the fact he had that year where he threw 30 interceptions, I'll admit that was a little blip. But he sat there for 2 years. And so he goes out and lights up the Packers, and they beat the hell out of him yesterday because he's now replaced Drew Brees. And I was telling him, Judd, they're going to be better with him than they were with Drew Brees the last 2 years.
well,
'cause Drew
Brees couldn't throw more than
No.
15 yards.
No, and I love the guy. Well, I waited and waited for Judd to send out some praise
Nothing.
for me, so I finally had to tweet, I believe Judd has a moral obligation to point out.
To acknowledge my
point out
brilliance.
my
That's a way around. That's a loophole.
So,
That's
that's
a loophole.
right. That's not me
Right.
patting myself on the
Exactly.
back. That's that guy throws a great ball. He's a goofball, but I think that they made the right decision. Otherwise, they'd be out there trying to run the ball and stuff like that. But the Packers, I don't know why everybody thought they were going to be so good. Just because they were good last year, their offensive line's beat up.
There's nothing in the game story about why Rogers was
Well, because they were getting embarrassed, I suppose. They just took them out.
38-3. Wow.
How many? Look at the stats. How many passes did Jordan Love throw?
Okay.
I don't even know.
Who's Jordan Love?
He was the backup that they drafted last year that started all this nonsense. That sort of started this nonsense. But he looked, not only did Rodgers play like that, but he gave the interview, the
Yeah.
TV interview before the game, where he repeated all the same stuff about why he was mad at the Packers.
So speaking of Jameis, I wish I could give the guy credit for sending us to this, but he wanted your guys' input on Jameis's soundbite after the game. Joe, you're going to love this. He's got the headset on. He's talking to the TV crew. This was Jameis Winston on his reaction to beating the Green Bay Packers yesterday.
How did the defense in the running game give overall shape to the way this played out, Jameis?
Well, I just think we were prepared. You know, one thing my trainer, he told me, he said, what did he say? He just told us to be prepared.
What did he say? He said be prepared.
What? B.
You know what they say, an athlete's got to have a short memory, right?
That's right. That's right. I love the look, though. He kind of glances out like, what did he say?
Love was 5 for 7 for 68 yards.
So he must have played the whole fourth quarter or something. Right?
Quarterback controversy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for years, the Phil and Judd would monitor the Green Bay call-in shows.
Oh, that was always
and
good
run them,
stuff.
but they couldn't. They weren't able to capture that overnight last night, I guess. So.
Oh, okay.
Whatever happened to our Blues Saloon with Zim's remarks? Where we play the
2
blues
o'clock
music?
today.
Two problems with that. Number one, we don't have the rights to that anymore. We were informed. And number two,
Why did we ever have them? then?
well, we just did it without asking. And secondly, he doesn't speak till 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
I don't think he's a happy camper.
No. And as you pointed out, he has, like me and many others, he's gained the pandemic 15.
I'll say.
You got the little
15.
belly going.
And he was, Mark Craig's story on him in our paper, he said, I was working out, and then I hurt myself, and then I said, the hell with it.
Because
Just like me, except I didn't do the workout part.
You went right to all the hell.
I went right with it.
in fact, was that Mark's piece where his son Adam was quoted too? Or maybe that was something I read on Twitter where he said, yeah, I'm a little worried about Dad's health.
He was a little. Well, plus he's got to go to the Belichick windbreaker if he's gonna.
Yeah.
Just to hide it a little
If
bit.
he's
Yeah,
gonna,
he needs some
you got to get
layers.
because he's still wearing the kind of the tight
Right.
coach's shirt.
He's still got the model
I
girlfriend?
was just going to ask the
I
same
don't know.
thing.
Maybe she dumped him, and that's why he's. I don't think.
That's
I don't
why
know.
he's wearing the shirt with the bellies in them.
I don't think anybody asked that.
No, I wouldn't.
I don't know.
Maybe Chris Thomason could throw that one as well.
Thomason got the COVID.
No.
That's what I heard.
You
I
better not-
probably shouldn't say that, but because it's a privacy matter. But let's just say there was word circulating that I'm still. He probably covered the game just from home, so
Okay.
couldn't make the trip yet.
We
But
better not get next to the quarterback then anytime soon.
no, probably not.
What is the Vikings vaccination status? Are they 90%?
I think we might be pushing 80.
80%?
Might be pushing 80. But they were. They got some hardcores that just aren't interested. They got quite a few of the brothers are that old. They're
Here's what's
they're
funny.
worried about
What
we're
they're
trying-
doing to
what
yeah.
we're trying to do to them.
What's funny is the way that the game now is covered. I noticed this yesterday because I watched the second half of the Vikings game, and I watched a little bit of the first half of the Sunday night game. But how when they go to the sideline, when they see a player put a mask on, they instantly turn to another camera, as in they don't want to show which players have to put the mask on the sideline. They're
really?
trying to. At least that's the way I interpret it, because it
Really?
happened in the Viking game when I do not remember what player was put in and they quickly flipped to a different camera.
Wow. Well, because we have the newspapers have guys out there monitoring who they see working out that has to have
Right.
the mask on. So
Right.
I do think it's hilarious, though. We have a football game at the University of Michigan on Saturday
I
night.
saw that crowd.
They had 101,000. And then we got the coaches on the sideline wearing you got to have the mask on. Got to have the mask on down there on the sidelines. They got 101,000. There aren't 12 masks in the entire place. And
But I'm going to guess a lot of those students in celebrating after the game probably masked up. I'm sure for their festivities.
boy, did you see any of that?
I watched a little bit, not all of it.
He has gone all straight hardcore Woody Hayes, man.
Oh, yeah.
3 yards in a cloud of dust.
I did notice when I was watching that a little bit.
They ran every down, Harbaugh. It's old-time Michigan Bo Schembechler football.
I was also glad to see that the hard-fought moral victory of the Gophers against Ohio State paid dividends with their loss.
I will say Ohio State had 600 yards against Oregon.
They did?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. How did they only score? They only had
had a couple of turnovers, and
okay.
And Oregon was they messed up a couple of times, but their defense is terrible.
Okay.
Ohio State and Oregon proved that.
Yep.
So.
And the Tommies won their first D1 game.
Except they were playing a D2 opponent,
right.
Michigan Tech, a 12-9 struggle, and I'm a little pessimistic about Saturday. Northern Iowa, you got your Pioneer Football Conference, which the Tommies are in, which is no scholarship. It's D1, but it's you can give them academic scholarships and stuff like this, but
that Perfect Health.
Sorry, Perfect Health.
But Northern Iowa comes out of the Mo Valley Football Conference with South Dakota State, number 1 in the country. North Dakota State, 3rd or 4th in the country. Northern Iowa played Iowa State to 17-10 in the opener.
Ooh.
In the opener, and Caruso, I talked to him, and he said they got a coach on one of his former coaches is on the Iowa State staff, and he called him a half hour after the game and said, "These guys are big and tough. These guys are good." Northern Iowa, and that's where they play Saturday. So that could
they go down there.
So Glenn could find out how the other half lives in those 50-point games. So.
Is that's in Clear Lake, right? Clear Lake.
No,
Iowa?
it's Cedar Falls.
Or Cedar Falls. I'm sorry. Okay.
Cedar Falls. Iowa.
That was where Kurt Warner went, was it not? Northern Iowa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I think it's a mistake to have gone D1. Except they didn't have any place. They got kicked out of the MIAC.
Yeah, to some point.
Yeah, they didn't have a choice.
They seem to be, they're adjusting. But football is the non-fit. Everywhere else, it's okay. But football, you're flying all over the country, and then you're going to have home games, and you're going to be playing Marist. You draw more people for, way more people from Bethel than you're going to draw for somebody like that. So.
Rook tells me that Cretin and St. Thomas are playing at U.S. Bank Stadium this weekend.
Your Cretans can't beat your.
They didn't beat the
Can't beat the
Monomedites.
Monomedites. They got hammered by the Monomedites.
I think the squad's down a little bit this
They
year.
went down. They finally went down a division to 5, right?
Yeah.
They went down to 5, but I think enrollment-wise, they could be 4, right, if they want to do.
Right, if you do run with the true numbers.
But they're in the same one as the academy now.
Yes, they're because the academy's one down, so they're going to.
Is Danny O'Brien's coaching the academy, right?
Yes, he's still coaching the East, and that's
second year.
3rd year, I believe.
Okay.
Third, or this might even be his 4th.
Okay.
I think it's his 3rd or 4th year.
Who's
But he's doing
coaching
a
the
good job.
Cretans these days?
You know what? I don't even know this year. I know Klein is their AD, and I haven't paid much attention. Gabe didn't play this year.
I wonder if whoever it is going to give the Malachi speech. The Malachi speech. You're going to be working for these SOBs your whole life. They're going to be telling you whether you're going to get a loan or not. These are the jackasses.
Sell you your insurance policy.
Yeah, they're going to be looking down their noses at you the rest of your life. Now's your chance to kick their ass.
They have 2003 graduate Chuck Meisbauer.
Meisbauer.
Okay.
He's in his 3rd year, I think.
Yeah, 2019 was his first year.
Yeah. And he's a former NFL guy.
By the way, Aaron Rodgers was benched with 11 minutes to go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it was probably at that point where they're saying, what good is it going to do to keep him out there and possibly get hurt?
Yes. Now, the rumor is the young girlfriend's Prego.
Really?
Yeah. It would be, I think, the first Aaron's.
I thought they were
Aaron's
taking
first.
time apart from each other.
Oh, I thought they were a couple.
No.
Are they not a couple?
No.
You
He
can do
said
that if you're taking
he
time
was
apart.
I know what you're referring to. He was asked, what's it like being away from her?
Yeah.
Meaning, because I think she's shooting a movie right now. And he's, in the middle of football season. I think that's the quote you're referring to.
I think it's very sad. It's very sad.
He just better watch his back if Danica catches him.
Oh.
Dana finds him. Danica finds him. Hey, Aaron, do you know Shailene Woodley? No, I've never met her before. You know,
Ooh.
She introduced him.
Yeah, that's uncomfortable. That is a little uncomfortable.
Yes.
Who's the Formula One driver that had a car land on his head? Name me a famous Formula One driver.
Niki Lauda?
No. For currently in the current season,
Lewis Hamilton?
Lewis
No.
Hamilton, I think. He came an inch from dying. A competitor's car came on top of his cockpit.
I missed that this
Yeah.
weekend.
I didn't
Yes.
see that. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, those are
Well, let me
dangerous
try to
machines.
find that.
I can look it up.
Those are
too.
dangerous
Little upbeat.
machines, man.
Formula One.
You know the thing about those idiots?
I don't think it was. Maybe it wasn't Lewis Hamilton.
You know the thing about those idiots? They run in the rain.
Yep.
If it's raining, they run.
I know. It's
How do they get any traction?
very harrowing.
Well, they got great tires.
Lewis Hamilton.
Yep.
Halo saves Formula One star Lewis Hamilton from being crushed in a crash over the weekend.
That would have been an Ayrton Senna type news-wise story if he'd gone down. Wow.
At the
I
Italian
don't think-
Grand Prix.
Is he South African?
No, where the hell is he from?
Where's he from? Where's Lewis Hamilton from?
I'm looking him up
He's a
right now.
Brit, but maybe I'm wrong. I can't remember. He's won about 6 times, I think, 6, 7 championships.
He's from Birmingham. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes,
he is
Birmingham.
from, where was he born? Help me with the pronunciation. Stevenage. Stevenage of the United Kingdom.
Boy, you got me on that.
Anyway, it was at 1 inch. I saw the
Wow.
picture. 1
Jeez,
inch.
I didn't see that. No, I didn't see that. I was watching the young gals play tennis Saturday.
Huh.
I was rooting for the Fernandez, who's has Canadian residency, but she got beat by the 18-year-old qualifier. First qualifier to ever win a major, men's or women's, and she never lost a set.
Wow.
So nine rounds, and she never lost a set.
That's impressive.
So it was time for the worm to turn in women's tennis. We've had the same crew of gals for 25 years.
5-0 now. Your Twins lead the New York
Wow.
Yankees in the bottom of the third inning. They can't be stopped.
Once again, saved by not having any money.
Royce's lock of the week.
No, I just said I did.
You would have gone to Vegas
and
with
bet
$1 million in your
$1 million.
pocket.
I would have bet 100,000 of it on the Yankees.
Well, let's just put it this way. It is only the bottom of the third, and I believe the Twins bullpen is capable of blowing a lead.
Joe,
Yes.
here is the deal on the Yankees. They won 13 in a row, and I believe since then they're 3-12.
And
Weird.
Didn't they win 13 in a row and didn't gain any ground on Tampa or
Well, they
something?
gained some, but
Yeah, but not much.
this is a weird baseball season, though. I mean, there's like teams that are, Phillies were terrible. Then they got hot and they got the first place and they're going to win it. And then they were terrible. The Braves were terrible. And then they got hot. There's been, except for the Giants, the Dodgers, and the Tampa Bays, there's been very little consistency, which is fun, which is good enough. So
Well, you've always
we've
said
had consistency.
it's a long melodrama.
Twins have had consistency. They've had consistency. Been consistent. Consistently disappointing.
Yes.
But,
Oh,
consistently.
did you guys see the tweet from Super 70 Sports yesterday?
No, but they're pretty good.
They had one of, I would assume, since it's got to be when Sparky was the manager of the Reds at one of their parades. Mm-hmm. All right, so they got Sparky in there with, I'm sure, a team official and Mrs. Sparky or whatever in the front seat. And they tweet out, Sparky Anderson was 2 years younger than Tom Brady is now on the day this photo was taken.
That's right.
Which is, I'm sure, true, because he was in his 40s, right?
But he always looked like. He looked the same at 38 as he did at 65.
It was just a great
amazing.
picture.
Yeah, he was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But they had him on games, for a while. Had the worst English in the history of mankind.
Oh, really?
His grammar was. Remember that grammar?
Mm-hmm.
He would go for the triple and quadruple negative. The double negative was not even a.
That's not good
fun
enough.
for him. He'd have the quadruple negative, man. He was an eternal optimist, though. He'd point out players out on the field and tell you that they had to, he had to get rid of this future Hall of Famer because this kid was so damn good. Let me see that. Let me see that. Okay,
I'm
where's
showing
the car?
Patrick the crash.
Yeah.
Where's the car coming?
Well, he's coming from. Here's slow mo. He hits that. He bumps up on the bumper there, and then
So it's the tire that damn near gets him up.
Yeah.
hits him right. Well, the car lands on that.
The halo, huh?
What's that? Like a roll bar?
They got
Yeah,
they
roll
got
bar.
a little. They call it the halo. They got a little thing that saved their lives. And right there, the halo did its
right.
business, man. Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Ooh. What Lewis have to say?
I never saw any quotes by him.
It was not quite right. I didn't like it.
That was.
I didn't like it. Something to that
I
effect.
can tell you what my quote would be.
Right.
I'm done.
Yeah, right. I've won enough. Thank you very much.
Who's the Italian that won the U.S. Open golf a couple of years ago? Who am I thinking of?
U.S. Open.
Mario Andretti.
No. Oh, come on. He had the great quote.
Molinari? No.
Yeah, Molinari.
Yeah.
How do you think this will be taken back in Italy? He said, depends how Ferrari did today.
Yeah.
we have no understanding of how big that motorsport is.
Yeah, it is. Oh, it is amazing. It's and those machines are like twice as fast as the Indy one. I mean, there's not. I think unlimited. You can spend an unlimited amount of money on them. It's incredible. I think Red still has one in Austin, right? Doesn't
I
he
think
have
so.
one next
Yep.
month, right?
Yep.
I think the U.S. one is at Red's track in Austin. Boy, old Red's got to be in early 90s by now. Wonder how he's doing.
Yeah,
We had him on the radio a couple of times after he was gone, and then when he built that racetrack.
Oh, we did. That's right.
He said, "Yeah, that thing cost me $200 million." He says, my kids talked me into spending that money. They didn't know that was their inheritance. He said. What a character he was. He's got to feel bad though selling the Vikings. He sold them for like $600, and we thought he made a nice profit. And now they're worth
By the way,
$2.5
back to the
billion.
Vikings. I did love. I think you did it. Was it after the game or as Dalvin fumbled? He tweets out the photo of the Weeping Blondes.
Yes, I was just writing out the garage. I was walking out the garage, and the Weeping Blondes are in the garage. I got a signed copy of the Weeping Blondes. Sits in the garage over on the left. And I said,
Signed by the Weeping Blondes?
no, signed by Brian Peterson, who
Okay.
took the photo.
Yeah.
Brian Peterson. So I took the photo and sent it out. After the guy made the field goal, I sent it out. Last I looked, it had 690 some likes.
You're at 786 now.
Is that right?
Actually, 787. I forgot to like it yesterday, so I'm going to do it right
How do
now.
I see this?
Yeah.
Go to Royce?
Well, here, just go to Royce's account. But I forgot to mention
Yeah,
that.
I didn't comment. I didn't do anything.
No,
I just
just
sent it
the
out.
photo.
Well, to me,
So I go to
it's-
the magnifying glass.
Yep, just look up Royce.
to me, there is no.
Just the name Royce?
Yes.
To me, there is
Where do you do that? Where do you
is-
type it?
there is no photo that told the story
None.
of a game
Yes,
better
none.
without showing anybody from the field.
Now, didn't you catch up with a couple
10
of them?
years later, I did the reunion piece.
the follow-up.
In 2009,
Okay.
I did the piece, and here's the story on that. The gal standing on, as you look on the photo,
The one to the far left?
on the right, far left in the stands, but the far right,
Okay.
she's standing there comforting her friends.
Yes.
She was actually blocking out another
Oh, I can
person-
see her behind here.
another
Yeah.
person who was in actual seats. She had come down, the gal on the right had come down from upstairs to
console, yes.
comfort her friends. So when we did the reunion piece, she was out of town, that gal. She didn't live here anymore.
This gal?
Yeah, the one on the right. Yes, she wasn't sitting there. She came down to comfort them. There's somebody behind her that sat with the other two.
Yep.
When we did the reunion piece, and we got Brian to shoot it, we had the original because she was out of town. So we got the original to sit in that seat.
Okay.
You know who these two are?
Yes, but I have to look them up again. But one of them was a well-known local singer for the Starlight such and such band.
They're attractive kids.
Yeah, the one on the left, I believe, is the singer, and the other one is, one of them married
the other.
One of them married the guy who was a big executive with the Wild, and ended up going down and running some team in Houston or something. But
The
yeah,
Weeping Blondes.
the Weeping Blondes, and
How about this reply? Well, first of all, Wessel, of course, says, how long did you have that one queued up, Uncle Pat? But the best is this one from Jeff O'Brien, who replied to this photo, Joe, and he goes, this really should be a statue outside of U.S. Bank Stadium.
Yeah, it really should be.
That's so great.
yeah, it was what a moment. What a moment.
Oh,
that
I'll
was.
say.
That is, the first Super Bowl loss, Such and I were around for that, and that was traumatic because we really believed in their
They were
invincibility.
going to beat them.
But when you consider the increase in population, right,
Mm-hmm.
from 1970 to 1999, and when you consider almost the increase in zaniness and communication and the ability to react publicly, 99's, that's the worst. I think that's the worst loss in Minnesota history.
Well, and remember
I
what
think
we were going to be
99.
doing.
Yeah, we were going to be on the boat.
We
We
were
had
going to be.
at Pier 66,
Yes.
Although,
where John D. McDonald kept the busted flush.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
with Randall being hurt, I don't think they would have beat Denver.
Oh, all right, Sid. Sid, that was Sid's.
Was that his excuse?
Set up the loss.
Sid was, God, we're lucky they, by about Wednesday, we were lucky they lost because they wouldn't have had a chance. So they would have lost a fifth Super. That was a mediocre Denver team. They would have kicked their ass.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah. But that was it. Too many injuries. They wouldn't have had a chance.
Because was
Set
it
up the
Randall
loss.
and Ed McDaniel was hurt too, wasn't he?
He got hurt early in the year, right?
I'm not confident for a Super Bowl run this year.
No,
Where
I
is it
don't
this
think
year?
so.
It's in
Tampa again?
No, it's at SoFi Stadium
You know what's interesting?
in L.A.
What if our neighbors to the east follow the NBA championship with a World Series championship? They are 6 starters. They got a 6-starter rotation. They have 3 of the best in the league. And their next 3 would be better than anybody the Twins have. The Lauer and Brett Anderson, and they got 6 starters. They've been in a 6-starter rotation for a while because they can, because their magic number's like 5.
Plus, Council's a good manager.
Yeah,
I
Are
think
you
he's a,
calling for a trifecta, though?
they don't have a.
It would be the Packers somehow miraculously
No,
come back.
no, they got
or
no
the Bucks,
shot.
Or
they
not.
got no
But
shot.
the Bucks and the Braves would. I mean, the Bucks and the Brewers. Remember Milwaukee's last only World Series championship, 1957, I believe.
and the last time we were there was it 82?
82. They've only been there once. Yeah, 82.
What's the status on the family
And
ownership?
downtown Milwaukee had hundreds of thousands of people during that
Yes.
basketball run.
Oh yeah.
Outside the building.
Yes. Yeah. They were nuts. They were nuts.
Remember the still shot when they had the viewing party on the plaza?
Yeah.
And the guy says, "Let's all pray for that one porta potty." That was sitting in this sea of humanity.
Capacity.
Yeah, these people were all making sure they didn't drink much because they were afraid they'd have to
I'm
go to the
sure,
potty.
yeah.
Right, kept him back.
Well, it's that's hope for us. If they can do it, we can do
Yep.
it. Damn it!
That's what I'm
right.
saying.
Yes.
Not without your own Greek.
The cup. We got the cup. The cup will be here. Everybody says what'll be first. The cup will be first.
I think so.
The cup out of the 4 major sports. You're never going to win an NBA
Have
title.
we signed the commie yet, by the way?
No.
Let's go here.
Yeah.
He's going to end up signing a 5-year deal for $50 million.
Because his contention is he wants a shorter deal. Is
Shorter
that the
deal. This is one of those rare fights where they're trying to get him cheap for 8 years, and he's saying he wants to sign for 3 apparently, and they're gonna have to compromise for 5.
Okay.
This Guerin's a tough bird, though, man. I think, don't you think?
Yeah.
He's he's a hard nose.
Well, he's the first guy to
hard-nosed
come in
guy.
and lay down the law to
Yeah.
Suter and Parisi.
Zach, back in New York.
Yeah.
Back on the island.
Back on the island.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Where'd Suter end up?
Suter got a good
Dallas,
deal.
I think, right? Wasn't it Dallas?
He got a 3-year deal, didn't he?
I'm going to look
He got
that
a
up.
3. He got a nice contract someplace.
I thought it was Dallas. Who did he sign
Aren't they
with?
going to camp one of these days?
Yeah,
What's
next
the
week.
deal here?
Next week.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep, he signed with the I'm not even going to say it. He signed with the Dallas hockey team.
Yeah,
I'm
Dallas
Hockey
I'm
Club.
not calling him
Dallas
that.
Hockey
I don't call him that word.
Stars?
No, we don't call him that. That's our name.
All right, Jesse.
Yeah. Do
my
what
great-
now?
That was my great Roman with Jesse. You remember that? Neil Broughton had 2 goals for the Dallas. You know, Neil had been gone, and all of a sudden he popped up and had 2 goals or an assist or something. I said, "Hey, Jesse, Neil had 3 points last night for Dallas." He said, "I don't talk about them. They're not the North Stars anymore." And that's what I said. Jesse, we're doing 10 minutes.
Each 2 hours.
2 hours. We're doing
Twice,
10 minutes twice every morning. We can't devote it strictly to the Timberwolves and Champlain Park football. Which is,
And Charlie Frank bringing you his Timberwolves coat. Oh my God!
which they wouldn't give back.
Wouldn't give
right?
it back. Yeah. There's that great photo of him walking downtown Minneapolis with that coat on, and it's from behind him. It was during the campaign, and I always remember he stole
the coat.
He stole the coat. Charlie
Jesse,
wanted.
Jesse is a ardent Viking fan also. And I would guess if he was watching yesterday, he doesn't think it was a fumble.
Yeah, you're probably right. When he did the play-by-play he was wronged by the Vikings, so he wanted nothing to do with them.
Really?
And then he went to Tampa that next year, whatever it was. But I know in my heart that that TV was on in his house and he was watching it from.
So did he do a year of the Vikings?
He did a couple, didn't he?
He did a couple. And,
Did he?
and
So
then-
what, was he the third voice in the booth or something?
Yeah, I don't think he was just
It
the
was
color guy.
him and Huffman. Was it Dave Huffman?
That'd be a good
Oh, the late great Dave Huffman.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think it was him and because I remember listening to them, and it was who was the play-by-play guy? It was
But I don't remember what the controversy is, or if he just wasn't picked up again, and then he was mad about that. But I know in his heart he's still a Viking
Are
fan.
all radio play-by-play guys in that league as nuts as Allen?
No.
Allen.
No, he's got that style
his devotion, and not all of them have the same.
Dan Rowe. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean,
of.
he is
Not all of them
devoted.
have the same devotion to the team, and they take it personally when they lose. Some people are actually objective. Not objective, but at least not insane.
Yeah, it was Dan Rowe, Jesse, and Dave Huffman. Were the
Wow.
three-man was the
Hoffman
three-man.
was a great guy, man. Killed in a car accident with Stevie. What was his name? Yeah.
Hey, how you doing there, cowboy? You okay?
Yeah.
Hoffman was the source of one of my most low-class rips of all time.
Oh,
They had Scott Studwell Day at the end of the season. He was retiring.
55.
And I wrote this whole thing about this grand warrior from the prairie, from Illinois, and blah, blah, blah. Huffman played at Notre Dame or something.
Yeah.
And it was 6 graphs of making it sound like Studwell. And then I said, we speak, of course, of Dave Huffman. Studwell's father-in-law called me up the next day. And he said, that's kind of funny, but he's not as bad a guy as you think he is. He was a good guy.
it wasn't even the dad; it was the father-in-law.
Father-in-law
Wow.
in Apple. He was married to an Apple Valley girl.
Okay.
All right, G.
Very
Comedy
elaborate.
is the unexpected.
Very elaborate rip.
What if Royce had Twitter back in that day?
I was sober by then, so I would have been okay.
Oh, you would have been okay.
If it was before April of '81, I might have been in
You
trouble.
might have been in trouble.
I think so. Yes. Yeah. All right, fans.
See you later.
That's enough sports to scratch your back.
A few Tom Powers moments. EcoFun has e-bikes in stock. And why is that important? Because every other bike retailer is out of stock and will not be getting new e-bikes until December or January. You can't even get one for Christmas from them. The weather is warming up, so if you are in the market for an e-bike, scooter, or ATV, go to EcoFun right now. EcoFun Motorsports in Forest Lake. Talk with Tim Bloom, the owner of EcoFun Motorsports in Forest Lake. Tim and his family will help you select the e-bike that is right for you, and they will deliver it to your front door in the metro area. Right now, EcoFun has Bentelli e-bikes and Yamaha Motor Assist bikes in stock. EcoFun also carries the full line of Yamaha scooters, motorcycles, and a wide variety of Yamaha ATVs, including ATVs for kids. Check out EcoFun Motorsports in Forest Lake and online at ecofunmotorsports.com and tell Tim that old bicycler Patrick Racy sent you.
Hey, GLers, it's Reavers here once again for Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. And as you've been hearing over the course of the last couple of months, Josh asks you one simple question, and that's always, do you know what you own? You see, Josh's clients, they always know what they own, and Josh has found that most people that he meets with every single day, well, they don't. They absolutely have no idea. Josh has also seen retirement portfolios that have a big percentage in bonds, and there are real instances of people paying more in commissions and fees than they can possibly make on the rate of return that those bonds currently yield. So Josh begs of you, know what you own. And you'll hear from Mr. Money Talk later today here in Garage Logic to give you a specialized report on the goings-on in the market today. Trust is often overused, and it's even harder to find. Please, you can take it from me that you can trust Josh. So give him a call today for that free 48-minute financial consultation, and you do so by calling 952-925-5608. Once again, that's 952-925-5608 for Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold.
This is Patrick Racy for the Canopy Group, and this is a time of year we love in Minnesota. The leaves are changing colors, the kids are back in school, and the apples are ready to be picked. So what do apples and insurance have in common? When it comes to getting an insurance quote, many people want an apple-to-apples comparison. We can't do that at Canopy. Here's why. The Canopy Group, we believe our clients deserve only the best insurance coverage for the best price. That's why we only offer our clients combined single limit coverage. Many captive carriers, meaning they only have one option, offered split limit coverage. That means they can change what they pay you for a claim depending on how it fits. The type of coverage leaves you open to gaps and on the hook at claim time. This doesn't sound good to us, and it isn't good for you. At the Canopy Group, we're often able to increase coverage from split limit to combined limit, single limit coverage, and save clients money. If you want an apples to apples comparison, be prepared. The Canopy Group's apples are much bigger and better than the competition. To make sure you're getting the best insurance, call 800-967-3389 or visit thecanopygroup.com.